Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House, and you can find us on YouTube at Joey143Jenny. So as promised, I'm going to do a quick flip through of the Peacock journal I've been working on, and I want to tell you that the film that I used to cover it while I've been working on it has been a saver, because here in my craft room I do other crafts, and I was painting yesterday and accidentally nudged the journal, so thankfully that cover was on it. So it'll go back on even while I send it, so that the person that receives it will, have it nice and fresh. But anyways, what I did, I'll show you. You may remember this beautiful silk fabric. It's from Hong Kong. And then what I did was I put this really nice velvet ribbon on here. And then I just took some sari silk and tied it in a bow. And then I put this beautiful peacock brooch on it that I had found on Marketplace. And that is just clipped on there with a safety pin, so it can be removed if needed. Sometimes as you're working in a journal, you don't want that much bulk. But this tie is also not attached, so the whole thing can be removed, while you're working on the journal. Okay, so let's look. And then again, like I said in previous videos, I won't go through every single thing. Have a few surprises for the recipient. I did finally use that vellum. I made just a little envelope here, and what I'll do is I'll slide a personal note in there for the person that's receiving this. I am going to set that aside because I know my memory, and I know I'm going to forget to do that. So I won't put that aside. Here is the document folder that we made yesterday with from the Roxy weekly Roxy's weekly challenge, and it was number 6. Here is, you remember the fabric flip, so you can flip that up and write some of your secrets down underneath here. And then, oops, I hope I covered that. I had this here because I didn't want the recipient to see their name. And so I am going to continue on, and maybe they won't watch this. But anyways, so you'll see that we have beautiful digital kits used, and I am going to do my very best to write down all of the digital kits so that you can find those yourself. I'm going to just put that out like that so I don't forget to get that. Belly band, and I put a few cards in here to journal on. Any of these blank pages that don't have pockets or whatever, you can put pictures, or the person getting it can glue things in as well. You may remember this. We did this with that texture paste and the stamping. Again, some other little ditties. I found some other things while out in my flea market finds and put those in there. Coloring book pages. This is a ledger page. Roxy Creations digital with her blue kit. Some coffee dyed paper. This came out of one of the kits, and then I just added a little bit of bling to it. And you may remember that I stitched around all of the pages. Not all of the pages, but many of the pages I stitched together. And then I just put different colors that were kind of reminiscent of peacock feathers, and left those hanging. I had a few cards that I found that I thought worked really well with the colors. I put those in there. More digitals. Other side of the coloring book. This was also a Roxy creation. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a flip card. And then there's a journaling card inside of that. More digital fun, and I added butterflies. And then here's a fun thing to add. Oftentimes with the digitals, you'll have the little butterfly antennas, and they're very hard to cut out. I mean, I try it sometimes, but you can actually add just some thread. This is one piece of embroidery thread, and what I do is I just cut it, I make a V, I go ahead and glue it down where I want the butterfly. Do that first, and then I'll glue the butterfly on top of it, and it helps to secure it. And it's really fun. It gives just that extra dimension. So I added that. And that idea came from, I did a Marguerite Miller collage exchange, and one of the pieces that I received back, the artist had done that, and I thought that was so cool. So I've done that before, on a few things since then. More digital, more fun stuff, pockets, little things put in. I had this wonderful ribbon. I just wanted to use a piece, and then this is a little piece off of Kathy Holden's junk journal fabric. Adds a nice dimension. Some vintage writing paper. Some more dyed paper. This is just actually paper that I dyed. Digitals. This is again some dyed paper that I dyed, and I sewed in a crunchy paper. And basically what that crunchy paper is that I sewed in there is, you know how crazy it is when you get things and they come in these, I'll show you, they come in these plastic things. Now with these, I like to keep this all together, but there are some things that come in this and you don't need it anymore. So I just used it and sewed, and it gives a nice crunch to it. And again, it's dyed paper that I dyed, probably the same time I dyed that other blue paper. And then this is another pull-out where these two pages are combined. This is from a vintage sewing pattern book, embroidery book. Some more vintage paper. Just some coffee dyed with a pretty doily. This is a packed pocket. It's a double pocket. You may remember we did that. This was a really fun journal because I mixed the heights. And so what was neat about that is, isn't this gorgeous? That's the middle. But what was neat about that is then when I made tall pockets, they poked out over the shorter pages, and it made it's really fun. So there's that. This is the middle. I absolutely love it. Here's that doily I told you about, and I just put that in with some sari silk. More goodies, pages, the back, the flip sides, more goodies. Keep it on, keep going. I don't want to show everything. I'm kind of going through it kind of fast because I want the recipient to find some of the little goodies too. So a lot of this is a flip side. This is another one of those pull-out cards. And this is that piece I showed you yesterday, that quilt piece, and I just tucked it in here. Yeah, so there you go. So fun. My plan is to get this in the mail on Monday and, see what happens. Now, one thing I do need to do is I need to go over it with a lint brush because this velvet is shedding just a little bit, so I want to go over it, make sure it's nice and neat. And then I just tied a square knot on that. So anyways, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me during this process. It was a lot of fun. It was really a great opportunity to use multiple artists, digital kits, and flea market finds, and all kinds of things. And I'll see if the recipient will send me a picture of them with it. And so then you can see the, once it's delivered. So anyways, have a great day. Blessings to everyone. Thanks for subscribing. Love you guys. Bye-bye.